Hello friends, greetings. Welcome to How to VLN channel. This is DBA VLN stream. In this video, we are going to see a fast report of pgBadger. I just got my pgBadger setup. I wanted to see how the report looks. The report is an outcome of the Postgres log file which pgBadger parsed. It just accumulates, aggregates the statistics from the Postgres log file and presents them in a HTML file. So what it does, it you always dump all the information to Postgres log file. This log file is consumed by your pgBadger and it produces an output HTML file, output in HTML format, and you have an option for JSON as well. Alright, so let's take a look. So as usual, this is our agenda. We are going to have the first look of the pgBadger report. So what are we going to do? We are going to just launch a simple query. Maybe we will launch it for 2 minutes and then launch the below command. This will parse and parse this log file. Today is Sunday, so postgresql.log. This is my default log file format. I didn't change that naming convention. Download the out.html, the one which it generates is pgBadger generates is out.html report, and navigate through the report. That is what the agenda of this call. Let's get started. Alright. So first, this is a screen where we are going to conduct all our tests. So let me clear this. I'm connected to the Postgres database. I already have all the necessary settings. If you look at my previous video, where I would talk about how to set up Postgres pgBadger, and in the next video I spoke about what are the settings you need to consider to make the effective use of pgBadger. Now this is the third video where I'm going to talk about the pgBadger report first look. Okay, so we connect to this database. I have nearly one additional database than the default 3 databases. So I'm connecting to my additional custom database I set up. I'm then launching this query. This ideally will be completing. Yes, it completed, but this information is already logged in the Postgres log file. Okay, now let's finish this. We are done here. Now let's go into my DBA directory and pgBadger underscore reports. Alright, so this is the place, and if I look at this, I'm sure I will not have see, this is an old file because it's pg15, so but mine is pg14. So if you want, I need to pick up the show data directory because I have pg15 installed, so it's overshadowing my 14 binary path. So anyway, so this is my latest log file. I need to parse. I'm here. Let's clear this and let's launch this. So this I need to paste it along with this report, and pgBadger. See, it passed query 8 queries, events 43, and you see there is a out.html report available. Alright, if you notice here, there were no reports available before. Now there is a output HTML which generated just 1 minute before. This is the report we need to transmit over local. You can see here my report is available, none here, so I'm transmitting this over to this, and let's look at this report. So alright, let's look. Alright, so let's go over this pgBadger output HTML file just we downloaded now. Look at this. This is the pgBadger logo. I have to appreciate the developer of this product. Has done a wonderful job. But if you really ask me, is this comparable to AWR? In some way, yes. In some way, no. AWR is full of information and is very rich in information because it's been in development for so many years and so many developers are behind it. And this product who has developed it, he just used only one source of information, which is Postgres log file, and he is able to come up with so much of information. I really love this product in the first look, and I think you will also find this very useful. Okay, he has given us so much of options, but this is a first look, so I'm not going much in detail. Let's look at it. So you have so many tabs here. Each tab will generate one view. You see here we are in overview section. So overview, you are seeing the page here. Similarly, if you click on connections, you will see you'll go to connections one. Next, if you click on sessions, you will see sessions, and you will see the checkpoint and restart points. This icon. If you click on temporary files, you will see this section. Similarly, vacuum and this vacuum section. Logs, queries, top activities and events. So each of them is a section in the HTML report. Each of them is a tab in the HTML report, and each tab has a section. If you click on this overview page and go to global stats, you'll see it's like a summary. Like in AWR, you'll see the load statistics of the database or load profile or any sort of that information on top. So this is what you see. You see here total query duration, something like AWS DB total DB time. So and then you have hard parse, soft parse, and number of queries per second, parsing per second, so on. So much of information you get, right? Something like that, or global statistics. In that you have a split up of the query duration, how much is parse total, and similarly the same way how AWS presented, they presented it in the same way, but the information has to come from the Postgres log file. Otherwise, you cannot do anything. If that is the information is available, this tool is able to parse it. And events, so number of unique events and vacuum activities, temporary files, how many watches, how many files in use, size of them, and number of sessions that were traced and connections that were traced. All right. Now, so if you see that there is a subsection which is SQL traffic, you see the SQL traffic section below. And then select write, you see select traffic. Write traffic means insert, update, delete, and then query duration, preferred query ratio, and general activity. In general activity, you have um, read wise activity, how many queries ran in form of read, write, prepared queries, and connections, and then sessions. So you can see all this in one place in the overview section. All these are part of this overview section, subsections. And connections, if you go over established connections and connections per database, you see I had 4 connections to Postgres user and 1 connection to pgBenchDB, and then connections per user and connections per host. So all this you can see, and sessions is same way. um, how many it's like an ASH in Oracle, maybe you can compare it. So you can see here how many sessions were running concurrently and the duration of the session and so on, where the sessions originated from, the host name, application, user, all that information is available. Checkpoint is a very critical, one of the critical measure of the database performance. If you have a frequent checkpoint, probably you have a challenge with respect to the size of your redo. I mean, your wall buffer or something like that, wall log file or something like that. Reason is you really need to take care of it, because a frequent checkpoint means you have a challenge somewhere in your system, so you need to tune them so that you can avoid a repeated write of data from memory to disk. So even it helps you having a uh, data loss window reduction, RPO reduction, but it still results in a lot of IO bottlenecks. Okay, so the checkpoint, it shows you the checkpoint activities. So if you see here how many checkpoints were initiated by what, so 3 total checkpoints, of which shutdown immediately initiated 2 checkpoints. Okay, and vacuum. So how many vacuum activities are happening in the DB, and temp files. So it's one of the critical measure for queries which involves staging operations like sorting, joining, and so on. So it's better that you measure this as well. And vacuum, we spoke vacuum to remove the dead tuples. So and then locks. How is about if someone is locking or blocking, you need to know the statistics, and this is the one. And then the last one's are queries by type. We already know select query, read and write queries, right? So you can see here. And then queries by database, queries by user, queries by duration by user, queries by host, queries by application, number of cancel queries. It's like an analytical view of all the operation that happen. And then this is the important one, time consuming queries. This is in the top query. You have histogram of query time, slowest individual queries, and time consuming queries, right? This is the important section I would prefer to say, because others are okay, but this is an important query which is more or less like Oracle's AWS SQL query ordered by elapsed time. So the longest query will be order number one, and others will follow that. You can see here 3 seconds, 20 milliseconds. This is the query which was running longer. It had two executions, but remember one of the execution happened with Postgres user in the Postgres database, and the other one executed in the pgBench DB. It's just two different databases, but still they are shown in the same place. So you can see all that information here, and the events. So you can see, but I don't know why these are all reported as errors and fatals. But anyway, it's an error and it is reported as error. Fine. So this is how the report looks, and this information section shows you which file this is picked up from. So here is the important information about this pgBadger. You may wonder, okay, I just downloaded and this out.html file is available and it's a static file. You may wonder, I used to have my next log file generated soon. Should I be updating it all the time? Like this, should I generate one? So this is where mm, Postgres is offering, this pgBadger has come up with a wonderful utility, an option is to do an incremental update of this file. So it's again available in this documentation. We first, what did we do as in first look, right? We just examine this option, but you have an option called -i. Okay, so it needs to be scheduled in cron. You see here. So this is in this cron job. What it will do? If your Postgres log file is kept in this format, the latest one, it will do an incremental update. -q is quiet or silent, and the output will be kept here. And this report will be generated per day per week, and you will have automatic reports updated, and you can actually update the same report every time. So your HTML file will be very static, and you can accumulate all the statistics into that one file. So you will always have one page to look at. It's like uh, pgadmin GUI console, where you can see all your statistics, right? Live statistics and so on. This is going to show you the historical statistics. I mean, just with few seconds lag or something like that. How frequent you are updating this, that frequent you will get that's your refresh interval for your output HTML file. Alright, so this is how we started. We have a long way to go with pgBadger, and we have other utilities to explore as well. Let's explore, and thanks for joining with me for today, and we will meet in the next video. Thank you. Bye.